Hello, everybody, and welcome to this session on creating packages. So this is where we're actually going to go through and show you some sample packages to really give you some ideas of different ways that you can package your Infusionsoft knowledge. Now, as I've mentioned in several of these videos, I highly recommend that you go through these exercises. Then once the program is complete, in other words, you've learned everything there is to learn in this session or this program for Infusionsoft, come back and go through these again because you're going to have a different perspective now knowing more than probably you did when you started. So remember, informational really for the first time, I do think the exercises are helpful, but coming through them a second time will be also helpful because then you'll have additional knowledge in Infusionsoft. So we will look at housekeeping real quick. I do these in most of the videos, but some of them I've skipped it just so I don't keep repeating myself. And then we're going to look at package steps, package details, package estimates, and then some sample packages, and we'll have some homework. So as always, the webinar training schedule, the schedule is they're released Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they're released by the end of that day. So sometimes you may get them earlier in the day, sometimes you may get them in the afternoon, sometimes it might be a little later. I'm actually finishing up a lot of these, I should say, as I'm going through them. So you won't have them first thing in the morning, but you will have them before the end of the day on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is located, the actual dates are located in the webinar training schedule. The recordings and resources is where you're going to find, or I should say your library is where you're going to find your recordings and resources. And that's going to be things like this PowerPoint presentation, the individual recordings, your homework, any additional documentation, the Facebook group link, as well as the sandbox information. Any issues or questions, you can always ping me in Facebook, or you're certainly welcome to send us an email, help@techymentor.com. What I mean by ping me in Facebook is actually put a message in our student-only Facebook group, and I'll be sure to check there. So with that, just a quick review of how to create a package. So we've talked a couple of different things. We talked the difference between retainers and packages. We've kind of talked about how to create packages. This is actually where we're going to go through more steps to create packages. So first thing you're going to want to do is review your skills and expertise list. And this is something you want to do before and after the program because that's obviously going to change. And by doing this step, that's really going to help you put everything on paper, and then you can look at it and say, okay, what of this can I put together as a package? Select that group of tasks, create a package name, detail what's in, or what's included, I should say. Estimate the time, cost, and schedule, which will give you your price. Create a la carte items. Add any extras, create any guarantees, add it to your website or sales page, and then market it. So the next scheduled, or the next, I should say, the next webinar is all about your processes and then your marketing. So we're really kind of giving you soup to nuts, if you will, when it comes to packaging. So this is just a review again of all the steps that it takes to package. Remember to always include the details of what the package has, right? What are you getting for that package? Planning sessions. Planning sessions are huge. Every time you sell a package, you should have a planning session involved so you can find out the specifics from your client as to what they need. Even if you just sell an email marketing package, you need to know what date the easing goes out, what tags are used, is there a template, do you post it to social media, when do they get it to you, do they look at tests, so on and so forth. You need to create a la carte items because you want to have those one-offs, prices, and then also your deadline. So you always want to make sure it's very clear. Now the deadline obviously you would do for the individual clients, but everything else should be part of your package, right? Your package details, your planning session, and your pricing. Your a la carte items, you can put those on your website or not. That's really up to you. So package details. What's included? Always include exactly what they're going to get. Are they going to get web forms? Are they going to get a campaign? Are they going to get new tags? Are they going to create a template? And a template could be for an easing or something else. How many broadcasts? What are you going to automate? Is there an order form? Are you going to add products? So on and so forth. So you have to be very specific. And not only do you need to be specific about what's included, you need to be specific about how many. Quantify everything. How many products? How many campaigns? How many broadcasts? How many templates? How many web forms? And I always go up to, so up to 5. Up to 5 products, up to 5 campaigns, up to 5 broadcasts, up to 5 templates, up to 5 web forms, and so on and so forth. Okay? By being very clear, that way clients understand that they get so many of what. If you don't quantify, then you're setting yourself up to lose money, right? Because client A could do 5 e-zines a month and client B could do 20 e-zines a month. If you charge the same price, you're losing money on client B. So you want to make sure that you quantify, and that's the beauty of doing multiple packages, because package A could have 4, package B could have 6, and package C could have 10. Or you could have a package and add a la carte. So you can see how you can mix and match this so many different ways. Okay, so we always want to include the details. We also want to talk about a planning session. And a planning session is so important for every package that you sell. I don't care what the package is for. You determine the customer's needs and requirements, right? As I mentioned, when is their e-zine due? When does it go out? Who does it go to? Do I include images, right? Do you write the content, so on and so forth? Everybody's different, and you should have one for every package. And here's the thing, is that you can create a questionnaire based on each package, right? So this is your planning session, and the planning session is what the questionnaire comes from, or what the questionnaire represents. And we're going to talk about this in the processes section for packages. But every package should have not only a planning session, but it should also have a questionnaire, because that's what's going to allow you to gather the information that you need in order to deliver the package. And everybody's different. You can't, in my opinion, you don't want to spend your time on the phone asking these questions. Create a questionnaire, send them the questionnaire, have them fill it out. You get it back, you get on the phone and do a planning session, review the questionnaire, that's what you got. Okay, so planning sessions are important, and they should be part of the package price. Don't charge additional for those. They should be built in your package price. So for a simple package like doing an e-zine, you could do a 30-minute one. For something like rolling out referral partners, you probably want to do an hour. Okay, so you can kind of use your best guess there. A la carte items are important because not everybody's going to fit in your mold, right? Not everybody's going to fit into your packages. So you want to have the ability to structure packages based on your client's needs, or create packages based on your client's needs. Now with a la carte items, I would price them higher individually than they are with a package, right? So you're going to figure out estimating and pricing when you do estimating, but you can also look at how long you think it's going to take you to do one product. And you can say, okay, $5 or $10, right? You can get an idea of that. But I would always charge more for the individual pieces, breakouts, than I would for the overall package. So important to have for custom packages. It also helps you standardize pricing. So you say, $10 for an additional product, $25 for an additional, $50 for an additional e-zine, right? Because it takes a lot more time. Right, adding a product is pretty simple. E-zine takes a lot more time. So I would say a product $10 and an e-zine $50 or $65, because it could take you an hour. Make sure that you're pricing accordingly. And then any one-offs. So ideas. If you have a package, you can go through and look at what you're delivering, and then you can pull out the pieces to make your a la carte. So for instance, products, broadcasts, autoresponders, and they're actually not called autoresponders in here, follow-up sequences, coupons, web forms, order forms, referral partners, so on and so forth. So you could price each one. So $5 for a product. And how do you price these is based on how long it takes you to get it done. Everything's based on your amount of time, because we all have time. We all need to spend it wisely. You want to make sure you're being paid for that. So price each additional item. How much and when? These two things are covered in the estimating webinar. If you haven't watched those, make sure you go back and watch that, because that's going to kind of take you through what you need to know in order to do the estimates. Okay. Package estimates are in, again, the module on estimating, and it's exact steps for estimating both your cost and your schedule. Your cost is obviously how much. Your schedule is your deadline. Okay. Your deadline date. Right. So some ideas of pricing. Hourly rates, you can say $50 to $100. This is just an estimate. I'm not telling you this is what you're supposed to charge. It depends on your expertise. $50 to me is on the low end of what an Infusionsoft VA should charge. It should go up from there. Packages, depending on the package, you can go from $650 up to $3,000. Again, I'm not saying this is exactly what they're charging. This is an average of what I've seen. Prices vary, prices vary based on your expertise. And obviously, the more you learn, the more you can earn. So you can start at a specific package and then work your way up. But your packages are really going to look at your rate, by the work that needs to be done. And remember, if you are only charging $35 an hour as an Infusionsoft VA, you need to charge more. You need to charge $50 an hour. So you're going to get an instant raise. So $50 an hour should be the price that you're using when you're doing your estimates, because this is a specific expertise. So it's just some sample pricing. You can do email packages, right? Which means you can send out email e-zines, 4 e-zines a month for $300, right? You can do monthly packages, which could be an array of things, which I'll give you some examples of. You could do $500 or more. Depends on what is included in the expertise needed. The deeper you go into Infusionsoft, the higher you can charge, because it is a specific expertise. A lot of people just know the surface of Infusionsoft. If you can make all the pieces come together and help them do strategy on how to use the tool, that's a higher expertise. Right? So you have to start thinking about the expertise that you're putting forth and what it's worth. What's the value worth to your client? Right? If somebody's paying, $500 a month for Infusionsoft and they're only sending out e-zines, if you come in and tell them, here's what you can do, here's a strategy for your business to grow, you're going to earn more money because you're giving them more value. So it's all about how much value you provide. And once again, estimating a schedule is your deadline. When you sell a package, you need to determine if you can meet the client's deadline given your current schedule. So even if you know it takes you 2 days to do something, that doesn't mean you can do it in the next 2 days. You have to look at what's already on your plate to determine whether or not you can meet that schedule. So if you'll go and watch the estimating webinar, it will give you a lot more details of this. This is just a quick overview because we are talking about it in this. And let's jump into sample packages. So these are just to get some ideas for you. If you don't have any idea what to start with, my best advice to you is start with the monthly email package, right? Or you could call it an e-zine package, which basically means you're going to send their e-zine out for them every month and you're going to charge them a flat rate. To me, that is one of the highest things that's needed in Infusionsoft right now. So many people only use it to send e-zines. Excuse me, so jump on the bandwagon and create an email package or an e-zine package. You can call these whatever you want to. When it comes to package names, you can call them whatever you want. You can have some fun, be creative. I just put together some really simple ones for you so you can just get the idea. And your homework is to actually create a draft package. You could certainly use one of these in here, but I want you to go through the exercise, because remember, when you're done with the course, you can come back and create the package that you're going to offer in your business. So we have monthly management, we have monthly email, we have an e-commerce, referral partners, cleanup, and then obviously you have your one-offs, which would be your a la carte items. So these are just ideas. Every one of these should have a planning session, as I mentioned. Planning sessions, the more detailed and more expensive the package, the longer your planning session should be. And every planning session has a questionnaire, which we're going to talk about in the process section. And this is just an example. Every month they're going to pay me, $500 to do the following things. And this is not how much it is. It's just a number I'm going to throw out. Every month I'll add up to 5 of the following things. I'll add up to 5 products, 5 broadcasts, 5 tags, and 5 web forms, right? And I can actually put set up and configure up to 5, because there is configuration that needs to be done with web forms. And then I'll also run your monthly sales reports. So once a month, I'll run the sales report for you and then deliver it to you. Just an idea. The nice thing about a monthly management is that you can create a custom package around what your client normally does in a month. If they always are adding products and sending out broadcasts and doing web forms and order forms, you could create a package around that. So think outside the box here, because not everybody's going to fit in your mold. Monthly email package, monthly e-zine package, whichever you want to call it, a planning session, set up, test, and schedule up to 4 broadcasts per month. And this is what I would say is great for e-zines, because they're a broadcast, right? This is probably, in my opinion, if you're starting out, this would be the first one I would create, because there is a need for this, right? And then you could figure out, okay, I'm going to do up to 4, because let's think about it. There's 4 weeks in a month. Most people send them once a week, right? So you could do one for 4 and you could do one for 2, right? For 2, which means they do it every other week, versus 4. So you can play with this. And so you could actually have 2 packages. You could have one for 2, one for 4, and one for 6 if you wanted. It all depends on your audience. Now, client provides the email content, which means they write the e-zine. If you're writing the e-zine, that's a different expertise. Copywriting is different than having Infusionsoft expertise. I can do Infusionsoft all day long, but I will not copyright, right? So that's a different expertise. So you could package that up as separate. You could create, just as a side note, if you do copywriting, you could create a copyright package for e-zine. Say, I'll write your e-zine, 4 e-zines a month for X number of dollars. To me, copywriting is another expertise, different bucket. Not everybody can do that. An e-commerce package, okay? I could set up and test up to 5 products, create up to 5 tags, set up and test up to 5 order forms, and set up and test up to 5 follow-up sequences. So this could just be a one-off package that somebody wants because they have a bunch of new products coming online. Um, so I could go in and do this for them. So this would be like one, they may be doing a launch. It's another package you could do. You could do a launch package, everything that you need to do for them to do a product launch, right? Referral partners package, same thing. This one has an hour planning session because there's so much that goes into referral partners. I'm going to set up to 10 referral partners. I'll set up the default commission program. There's only one of those. And then I'll add up to 10 different types of resources, which are resources is what you give to your affiliates to promote whatever it is that you're asking them to promote. So another idea. Obviously, referral partners takes a different expertise than just sending out e-zines because there's more to this. So it's a deeper knowledge. You could also do a campaign package. So you could create campaigns for somebody. So really start thinking about what you're going to get out of the training and how you can package it up. And if you have Infusionsoft clients, you can look at them and see what they do. If you don't and you're just starting, I really recommend starting with that monthly e-zine package because that is something everybody needs. You can also do custom projects, which means these are the one-offs. These are the ones that I do. Infusionsoft audit and cleanup or troubleshooting. These are all kind of fall under the same bucket, which means somebody contacts you because their Infusionsoft isn't working, right? They come to you because they need some help with this. So an audit package. For this one, I do what I call a discovery session. It's the same thing as a planning session. It's just a different term. And then I sell them 3 hours of my time. I have to sell them my time because it takes me time to go through their Infusionsoft to find out what's wrong, what's not working, how is it set up, where are the holes, right? And then what I'll do is I'll give them a configuration document of what I found. I'll give them the results of the issues that I found and a list of action items. I'm not cleaning this up. This is just telling them what's wrong and how it can be fixed. So audit package is one price. The actual cleanup is another. Now, the difference here is an audit is a package. The cleanup itself is usually a project because it's based on what I find. So it's not as clear cut, right? I can't just say you're going to get 5 of this and 6 of that and 7 of that. I actually have to scope it out and estimate it. So that's a little different. So the audit package, though, I can bundle up and say I'll audit it for you. And then once I figure out what's wrong, we're going to have to do a project so I can tell you what the scope is. So that's the details. I call it a cleanup package, but it's really a project. It's the action items. It's project based, which means everyone will be different, and you have to tell them exactly what you're going to fix, how much it's going to cost, and when you can get it done. So it does have part of the estimates in it that you do for a package, but you do it for a project because every single one is different because every single one has a different problem. So realize if you're doing this type of work, these are two different you get paid twice. You get paid to audit it and say what the problem is, and then you get paid to actually clean it up. And they can just you could just do the audit and not clean it up, right? Because they may go, oh my God, that's too much money. I can't afford that, right? Or maybe I'll wait and do it later. Obviously, for these types of things, the cleanup and the auditing and the troubleshooting, you need to have a deeper knowledge of Infusionsoft. You need to understand the whole piece. So management packages, again, are packages that you can put together customized for clients. So we have the email marketing package, which is also known as the e-zine package. And again, you can substitute any name you want there. You could do a basic monthly or a premium monthly. These you could do based on what most people need in a month. Outside of maybe the e-zines, maybe they need to go in and do some tweaks to their contacts or run reports or send broadcasts or add products or create campaigns or whatever it might be. So just some ideas. So here's like a basic monthly package. Create and update up to 5 products and campaigns so that it runs through a campaign. Create and update up to 3 web forms. Review current monthly orders and sales reports and schedule up to 5 broadcasts. So that's just a monthly package. You could slap a price on that, and this is exactly what they get every month. Whether they use 3 or 5 doesn't matter. It's up to that number. So a premium is just going to add additional. So I'm going to do up to 10 products and campaigns, still doing 5 web forms, but I'll send out 10 broadcasts. I'll review your monthly sales and signups, and I'll also look at your current monthly review current month referral partner reports. So it's some additional reporting. So you can see how you can mix and match this. I mean, the sky's the limit with this. You can create packages however you want. And if you just want to do a package that says, this is what I'll do for you because this is what you do every month because you've been working with them a while, you can certainly do that. And then there's package extras. So what do you include above and beyond just the package? Do you give them any kind of training? So if you set up the referral partners, maybe you show them how they can go in and add additional resources or pull reports, or something like that. Do you have any additional resources or documentation, training documentation, how-to videos, audios, checklist, samples, right? And maybe you offer email or phone support. So just ideas. Remember, it's all about value. What kind of value can you give to your client? The more value you provide, the higher you can charge, the more money you can charge because of the perceived value that they're getting that. So you don't have to include extras, but let me tell you this, people love checklists. So if you can do a quick checklist, you put that as part of your package and set yourself apart from everybody else that doesn't do a checklist. So when it comes to packaging, always have a planning session. Always let them know that you're going to have one. It's part of the package. Always include your numbers. Quantify everything. Okay. Who provides content? So if you're doing broadcast or e-zines, who provides the content? Do you or does somebody else? Do they have a copywriter? Does a client? The price? Any additional extras? If they're allowed changes. So if you send out their e-zine, I mean, can they change it 8 or 9 times or only 2, right? And approximate turnaround time. Solid knowledge and understanding. So that's what you're gaining from this program. And you have to start somewhere. So once you're done, you can easily start with that monthly e-zine package. You can create your own package based on your client's needs. Each package should have a questionnaire and a planning session, which we're going to talk about in the process one. And always quantify. You got to quantify either time or items delivered. Like in my audit package, I had to quantify my time, 3 hours. Well, I have to use my time to audit. So there may be times you have to use your time as well, and that's okay. So remember, packages are paid in full up front. You can also do 50-50, but for things that are recurring, like your monthly e-zine packages, have them pay at the beginning of the month, right? They should have a separate contract. It's not the same as a retainer contract. It needs to spell out exactly what you're delivering. What are they getting and for how much? Don't start until you have your payment and your contract. If client wants additional items outside of the package, make sure that it's in writing and you can do an addendum to the contract. Okay, don't take any verbals. So your homework for this is in the previous session you did a skills and expertise dump. In other words, you just took a document and you wrote down what it was that you know of Infusionsoft. And even if you didn't, it's okay. It's a good exercise. You're going to take that document and you're going to create a simple package based on what. And if you don't have a package, just start with the e-zine package. That's fine. Create a name and all the details. Create a la carte items for each item in the package. So for instance, if you're doing an email marketing or e-zine package, whatever you want to call it, and you're doing 4 e-zines a month, then you would obviously just create a la cartes for one additional e-zine, okay? If you're unsure, start with email marketing or e-zine package, I should say, and you can use the sample package document. So you can use that as an idea, okay, just to kind of show you what you're looking for, okay? So we talked steps, details, estimates, and gave you some samples. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to me, help at techiementor.com, excuse me, or post in our private Facebook group. If you don't understand something isn't working, I'm here to support you, so make sure that you reach out to me. And thank you. The next videos are going to be on process and marketing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.